The woods were endless. By the time Maya, Eric, and Dana stumbled into the clearing, the night had swallowed the horizon. Their breaths came in white clouds, the air damp with the smell of wet earth and pine. Then they came across a lake. The lake stretched before them, black as tar. No ripples, no sound. The water's surface looked more like glass than liquid, perfectly smooth even as the wind stirred the trees. Eric shivered. "Oh, this is the creepiest damn lake I've ever seen." Dana hugged herself. "I thought lakes had frogs, bugs, something. This feels wrong." Maya, exhausted from the hike, only nodded. She dropped her pack, her flashlight beam cutting across the shoreline. The light barely reached 10 feet before being swallowed by the water. For the first time that night, the forest seemed to lean inward, like the trees were watching. Maya crouched near the bank, brushing dirt from her jeans. She bent closer to the water to drink, expecting her tired reflection. But what stared back wasn't her. Its skin was swollen and waxy, its lips were purple, and its hair floated in strands beneath the water. The face smiled wide, too wide. Maya gasped, just as a pale, bloated hand shot out of the surface, clamping onto her wrist with the strength of iron. She screamed, stumbling backwards as coldness burned into her skin. Eric yanked Maya back so hard she fell into the dirt. The lake stilled instantly, black and empty. "Maya!" "There was nothing there," Dana stammered, eyes darting across the surface. But Maya's arm told a different story. A perfect handprint, wet, gray, too long in the fingers, was burned into her skin. She whimpered, clutching her arm, but the imprint tightened. The flesh pressed inward as though the unseen grip hadn't let go. Her veins turned dark beneath the skin, spiderwebbing up her wrist. Feeling terrified, they scrambled back from the shore. The moon had risen higher, throwing silver light across the clearing. Their shadows stretched long across the dirt. Maya stopped dead. "There's 4. Eric turned, frowning. Their 3 shadows moved as expected. But another stood directly behind Maya. It was taller, hunched, its head cocked at a crooked angle. The 4th shadow lifted its hand and waved. Maya spun around. No one was there. When she looked back, down, the shadow was gone. A rotting pier jutted into the lake. Eric, nerves fraying, shone his flashlight over the water. Jesus Christ! Dozens of faces floated just below the surface. Men, women, children, all suspended, staring upward with cloudy, lifeless eyes. Their hair drifted in the still water as though in a slow current. Dana grabbed Eric's arm. "Please tell me you see that too." But Eric's knees buckled when his light locked onto one face, his own, bloated, dead, staring back. They bolted toward the trees. The path they'd taken was gone. In its place, the woods bent inward, trees gnarling together to form a circle. Every direction led back to the lake. The smell of rot was stronger now, mixing with damp moss and iron. Dana sobbed. "It's a trap. We're not supposed to leave." The forest creaked as though the trees themselves were listening. They returned to the edge of the lake in the hope that if they did not run away, it would spare their life. The faces that they saw earlier were gone. "Don't look at the water," Maya whispered, but Dana already had. Her scream tore the silence apart. Standing waist-deep in the lake was another her. Skin pale, hair plastered to her skull, mouth stretched into a smile so unnatural it split the corners of her lips. Both Danas looked identical now. Which was the real one? The water swelled outward, as though something massive was inhaling beneath the surface. Eric again saw his reflection, which was grinning up at him, then reached through the water like glass, seizing his ankle. He screamed as it yanked, dragging him across the mud. "Maya, and Dana clutched his arms, heaving with everything they had. His nails tore lines in the dirt. At last, they ripped him free. But when they looked back, Eric's reflection was still in the water, still smiling. And this time, it winked. The lake shuddered with low vibrations. Whispers rose, bubbling, out with every ripple. Stay with us. The water remembers. The voices drilled into their skulls. Maya dropped to her knees, clutching her head. Dana bit her lip until it bled. Eric screamed, his hands clamped over his ears. Blood seeped from between his fingers, dripping onto the mud. And through the chorus of whispers, one voice spoke louder than the rest, calm, certain, patient, choose. The soaked version of Dana stepped fully onto shore. Her clothes clung to her skin, dripping black water that hissed where it touched the dirt. Both Danas turned toward Maya. Their voices overlapped in perfect unison. Only one of us leaves. Maya's breath hitched. They looked identical now, except one's eyes were bottomless pits of black. But before she could speak, both Danas smiled. "Pick wrong," they whispered, "and we'll all stay forever." The flashlight died. The moon vanished behind thick clouds. Maya spun. Eric was gone. Dana, both Danas, were gone. Her lungs seized as she saw herself. Standing knee-deep in the water was another Maya, grinning wide, her reflection perfect, except for the milky, dead eyes. Her double lifted a dripping hand and whispered with the voices of 100 drowned throats, "Join us." The lake surged, upward, swallowing her scream. By morning, the clearing was empty. The lake was smooth as glass once more. But if you leaned close, just close enough to see, you'd notice 3 new faces suspended in the dark water, staring upward, mouths still open.